Why you retiring, Tank? Why you retiring?
What trash? What changed? What made you? This shit is trash, garbage.
If you got the
Gervonta Tank Davis just announced that he is leaving the boxing world and is going to retire. The fighter seems to be done with the sport, calling it complete trash. Ever since the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, many fighters have been disheartened and found it to be a mockery of the sport. Davis seems to be one of them. He slammed Mike Tyson for even taking up a fight like that with a YouTuber for some easy bucks because it did nothing but tarnish the grand legacy that the 58-year-old had built.
Called clown following the Tyson fight. Tell us, exactly why. Expound on that.
Because why would he even want to fight him? And who told Mike Tyson to fight anyway?
Do you think that it might have tarnished Mike's legacy in a way?
Yeah, they did. They definitely did.
This news came as a shock to many, since it was announced at a conference for Davis's fight with Lamont Roach set to take place in March. Both fighters have been exchanging heavy promises of demolishing the other. Davis gave a scary death stare to Roach as they faced each other and did not utter a single word. Lamont Roach Jr., also known as the Reaper, boasts a record of 25 wins with 1 loss and 1 draw. Out of those wins, he has stopped 10 of his opponents with a knockout. He explicitly stated that Davis would have to be a different fighter with him in the ring. Roach's only game plan to defeat Davis is to whoop his ass. While he's ready for the fight to go all 12 rounds, he's aiming to go for a stoppage.
It is what it is. It's going to be a different fight when I'm in there. He's going to be a different fighter when he's fighting me.
What's your game plan?
Whoop his ass. I'm always looking for a knockout. No matter what, I'm always prepared for 12 rounds. But I'm always looking for a knockout, and if I get the chance, I'm going to try to knock his head off.
Meanwhile, Davis shared his retirement plan. He is retiring, but he won't leave the boxing world high and dry. He is retiring in 2025, but will do so after getting in the ring 3 times before he goes out.
If you go retire next year, how many times do you want to get in the ring next year, if it was your choice?
3 times.
3? So it's 3 fights for sure.
And in true spirit of the sport, Davis threw back insults at Roach, making the crowd of reporters laugh at him.
Say 9th round. You said 9th? What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared.
Gervonta is one of the most exciting fighters in boxing today. He's the WBA lightweight world champion with 30 fights on his record and no losses. Not only that, he has won 28 out of those 30 fights with a knockout making him dangerous. This is why he did not hesitate to shut down a reporter and make a $100,000 bet with him on winning his fight against Roach.
Who said that? You said what? You said what? Yeah, that's why I've been waiting for the talk. How much you want back? How much you want to bet? Because I came up here alone. How much I want back? How much you want back? Just call it out. Huh? 100? That's a bet. What's your name? Al, where you from? All right, bet. Bet.
Gervonta seemed pretty disinterested in this fight as he arrived super late, which irritated the reporters. Boxing Scene reported that he came 4 hours and 28 minutes late, whereas the reporter from Fight Hype shared that the conference was set for 1 p.m. but was rescheduled for 4 p.m. because of Davis's traveling issues. Even then, Davis showed up around 5:30. To this, Lamont said, if he's trying to play mind games, it's not working. Richardson Hitchens instantly backed Davis up when he said that Davis is the face of boxing and the boss. So he can do as he pleases because he does not need this fight. It's the other way around. The boxing world needs him.
The only thing he presents different from any of my other opponents is he actually got some skills. He actually can box, but they talking about manhandling me. That's gonna be. Go ahead.
Talk about you come from New York City. When did you get down here? How early?
I got here last week.
How you feeling the heat?
Hitchens also shared that he already knew that Davis would announce the retirement as the world champion had discussed it with him behind the scenes.
Professional fight, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go 15 rounds right now. Like no talking, no exaggerating. People know me. People know my engine. They know that.
Since Davis is aiming to go for 3 fights next year, including the one with Lamont, Hitchens is hoping that one of them is with Shakur Stevenson. He can't think of any other opponent at the 135 division that brings the light to the match for him other than Shakur. But ultimately, it's up to Davis as he's on top of the division and will have his pick from the litter.
When it comes to being in shape, that's never an issue. My last fight, only reason that I did gas out a little bit was because I lost 6-7 pounds the day before the fight. That's it. If I ain't never do that, I would have probably stopped my last opponent.
How do you feel coming up against Liam Parra, now being the champion, the second time doing this at the IBF? How are you going to handle the weight cut different to you did when you fought Lemos?
We already handled it different. I wasn't going to do the weight cut with Lemos. I went up. I had to lose 7 pounds because I went up past 150 my last fight. This time I'm just not going to go up past 150. I was eating whatever I wanted to before the Lemos fight. You know, I went to the hotel. I mean, when I got back in my room, I told my manager I'm not doing the IBF rehydration clause. And they made
Gervonta compared his situation to Lomachenko's, where people had begun calling him old. But he shared that fighters like him are just tired of the sport, of beating up their bodies time and time again. But fighters like Roach ignite the spark in him again, making him want to absolutely crush the opponent.
Now watch this.
Now watch.
Now watch. Now watch.
What's different from 10 minutes ago?
You know how when they told you said how like I pulled the fort Lomachenko, right? And like how he said like he retired and things like that. I feel as though like we've been in it so long that we are getting tired of it. Like we've been beating our body up so long, but it be like situations like just now, like when he talking, that spark the plug again.
Yeah, that's what I takes for you.
But Roach quickly said that he doesn't want Davis to use his retirement and lack of energy as an excuse when he loses to him. Roach doesn't want Davis to stain his legacy by fighting someone who's not motivated and has no fire left, whereas Davis just chuckled that all these fighters talk smack and end up asleep in the ring when he takes them down.
But that's what I want, though. I don't want you to fight me like how you talking out.
Always go like this. Always go like this.
Nah, what I'm saying, you just said you feel like you're going out.
They go to
I don't want you to feel like you're going out. I don't want that to be an excuse. You know our team name, no excuse. I don't want it to be like, oh, that was my last fight and shit like that. I don't want that. That's going to stain my legacy. Yeah.
He wants Tank to come at his best so he can fight the best in the division and win.
Is this the Tank you want to face?
Of course, I want to face the best Tank, dude. I'm not trying to spark nothing. It is what it is. He one of the best. I'm one of the best. We trying to get in there. We trying to run.
Hitchens said that Davis versus Roach makes for a good fight because Roach knows the kind of ruthless fighter he's up against. What Roach does with that knowledge is important because it could make him respect or not respect Davis.
I think it's a cool fight. It's a cool fight. I think that Lamont is one of them guys that he know what he's up against. I think that he knows what he's up against, so I think that's what kind of it can play in his favor. It cannot, you know. It can make him kind of respect Tank, or it can make him not respect Tank. So we just don't know. We'll have to see.
What did you make of
Lamont Roach feels that Davis only fights guys that don't have the chin to take good punches. To this, Davis replied coolly that he'll test his punches on Lamont's chin to see if he's down there with the other guys who couldn't take it. That is the purpose of this fight, according to Roach, to see if he's the one that can handle the world champion in the ring.
I think it's a cool fight. It's a cool fight. I think that Lamont is one of them guys that he know what he's up against. I think that he knows what he's up against, so I think that's what kind of it can play in his favor. It cannot, you know. It can make him kind of respect Tank, or it can make him not respect Tank. So we just don't know. We'll have to see.
What did you make of Tank?
Since Hitchens has a personal relationship with Davis, he revealed a bit of why Davis is retiring. Davis has been speaking about retiring from the sport for a short while now to him. Hitchens feels that's because there's a lot of noise that comes with the fame that Davis has, and that stress and constant pressure can get tiring. So Davis probably just wants to grab the money and find a nice place to relax and live the rest of his days in ease and comfort.
He's one of them guys that, as far as boxing, a lot of attention and noise come with it. So I think that he really don't care for it. He really don't want to be around it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always a new guy. It's always you're ducking. It's this guy. He's not fighting nobody, and or this and that. So he just probably, you know, ready to take his money and just go and enjoy himself and be away from the sport. Because boxing is a lot mentally and physically on the body, but it comes with a great price.
Davis just thinks that Roach should make sure that his kids don't come to watch the fight because he's planning on brutally defeating Roach. But Roach is confident in his abilities and stated that his son would be right there next to him.
You think he gonna try to test? I'm gonna
You
try to
seen my
test.
post, right?
You said, which one?
Well, I told you to leave the kids home.
My son gonna be front and center. Fuck you talking about? He could be front and center.
Leave the kids
Why
home.
wouldn't he want to see his father
What's up,
become
little bro?
two-time world champ?
In that same conference, he officially stated that he's out of the fight, as he said, "After next year, I'm out of it. Yeah, out of this sport." Davis later told that he needs to step away, form the sport for his own sake and the good of his family. Boxing is an aggressive sport and requires fighters to have a ruthless and ironclad mentality that comes with being rough and tough. But with Davis having 2 daughters, that's not the kind of tone he wants to set for his family. His aim is to get therapy, but in doing so, he would lose the anger and aggression that makes him the perfect weapon in the ring. He said, "That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it would lose the fire that I have inside of me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I want to be much softer, be more humble, and things like that." On the other hand, Showbiz the Adult gave his personal take on Gervonta's retirement and recent career choices. He's been saying that Davis needs to go up a weight class and challenge himself in a different division because he has defeated everyone worth fighting, leaving him with nobody to tussle with anymore. But the YouTuber got hate for sharing this opinion.
Listen, here's my personal opinion, okay? This is my personal take on it. I've been saying for a while that Gervonta Tank Davis needs to go up to 140 and challenge himself. Now, a lot of the fanboys, you Gervonta Tank Davis fanboys, called me a hater for that because y'all just don't get it. And
Showbiz the Adult feels that Davis has generational talent and is a prey that needs to have it all. And that's what got him to the top, which is why now he feels bored of the sport and division since he's already had his success in it.
The truth of the matter is, Gervonta Tank Davis is a big-time predator. He's a big-time predator who needs to hunt big-time game. There are fighters who are just generational talents, right? And those fighters, they must get it all.
He compared Davis to a beast and to a legend like Floyd Mayweather who wanted it all and jumped up weight classes fighting every big fighter using his raw talent and ability.
What I'm talking about like a beast. He's a beast. Like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather wanted to hunt big time game. There's a reason why he moved up all those weight classes, jumping up fighting Super Zab Judah and all those boys, jumping up fighting Oscar De La Hoya at 154, fighting Canelo. This guy here was big time. All right, he knew what he was made of, and he wanted it all.
Showbiz the Adult shared that it becomes about money for great fighters when they get older, become promotional boxers, and are satisfied with their aim to be the greatest.
Get it? Y'all see it as, man, you know, just get to that bread and be a prize fighter and get to the money. Not even Floyd was on that. He talked like that, but he wasn't on that. He became like that when he got old and when he became a promoter, Money Mayweather. And let me tell you, it's my opinion that was Gervonta Tank Davis's career, where it is now, is through the vision of Money Mayweather, the promoter.
Fighters, like Davis, don't spend their entire lives training and fighting without the desire to prove themselves in the sport.
Nobody gets in this boxing game and dedicate their lives to it that long without a desire to prove that they are the best. Y'all won't get that shit. Y'all just think it's money. But it's more than that. A fighter fight.
He believes that because Tank did not move up classes and satiate his desire to be great in other divisions, he's bored and depressed, which is why retirement is his decision right now. Fighters like Davis then lose their motivation and desire to fight.
If he doesn't hunt big game, he's going to become depressed. He's like a pit bull without something to do. Just sitting there as a lap dog. He's a pit bull who's a lap dog. Never satisfied. They kind of lose their urge to fight. They lose their animal.
Davis did share that he doesn't feel like himself anymore and is losing his motivation to fight at 30 years old. He doesn't think he should be fighting when there are more important things to do besides boxing in life.
You seen what he said? What did he say? He said something he heard I've been slipping. You know what I mean?
He basically said, I heard you fell off and you were not having that.
Yeah.
You did turn 30. How does it feel to turn 30? When I turned 30, I was like, damn, now I can't go to the club. I can't do this. How do you feel turning 30?
like when I do shit now, I be like, I'm 30, I don't supposed to be doing this. Like,
Gervonta predicted how his fight would go with his former amateur rival, Lamont, as he said, "I like to show people that they aren't who they say they are. I like to prove it to the people they come with. My first time winning the title, the whole building doubted me." Gervonta Davis shared that it's not difficult to be a fighter again, but he has mental health issues that he needs to face before coming back as his true self, which takes precedence over being a boxer.
No.
Something different?
It's not hard. It's not hard to get into it. It's just my mind wasn't like, it's not registering that it was a press conference today and things like that. I don't know what's going on, but it's going. I'm going to get there. You heard him today.
Boxing insider Rick Glazer is sensing that the Tank versus Roach fight might be in trouble. Things seem to be pretty bad for Al Heyman and is having problems with his deal with Amazon Prime Video. This is leading to financial issues that was being reflected in the conference. Glazer wrote the following about the fight to say, "Very interesting development at Tuesday's Tank Davis-Lamont Roach press conference. Besides the fact it started 4.5 hours late, Leonard Ellerbe was not in attendance, nor was any trainer for Tank. So the huge question mark, is there trouble in the Tank Davis camp?" George Kambosos Jr. thinks that everyone has a chance in the ring against whoever as long as they have two hearts and a beating hard.
We still don't even know if the fight could happen. Is he a chance against Tank?
Everyone's a chance. You can't write anyone off. No matter what in boxing, 2 hands and a heart, and anyone is a chance.
Coach Kenny Ellis feels that a fighter and their decisions should be respected. People are often unaware of what a fighter is feeling or how they're doing mentally and physically. Since they are the ones who have to perform, it should be up to them. So Ellis respects Davis's decision, to the extent that if the world champion woke up tomorrow to say that the fight with Roach is off, he'll respect that too.
Or how real is this?
He talked about it in Martin press, if that's the case, you can only respect it, You'll never know what a fighter's feeling mentally or physically. If he wake up tomorrow and said, "I'm not fighting in March," then that's the respect,
Yeah.
That's it. A fighter have the right to retire whenever they want.
Many expect this to be an easy win for Tank to take home, but since Gervonta has 2 more fights left that he wants after this one, it begs the question of who would the next fight be with. Ellis says that whoever can come forward would be the one to take him on next.
What's next for Tank? If he gets past Lamont in the fashion we expect him to, is this Shakur Stevenson? Tank said he didn't seem too interested. What do you think, though, Coach?
It's whoever's willing to step up at this point. Whoever they say the top guy is, step up. If you're the top guy, step up.
Paulie Malignaggi stated that while Roach isn't at the level of elite boxers despite his good career, he does feel that Roach is better than the kind of fighter Ryan Garcia was. Davis is a huge fighter compared to Roach in every way, so Paulie feels that this fight doesn't even deserve pay-per-view status since Lamont isn't popular.
An opportunity? I'm not sure. Roach has been a solid fighter throughout his career, but I'm not sure that he's been of the level yet, or at least notoriety-wise, to be in a fight like this. But then again, is he more impressive than in Garcia, who Gervonta brought up in weight and had the same championship title a couple of years ago and fought Heyman, a pay-per-view headliner? Yeah, I think Roach is a step up from that kind of opposition. So
Paulie does think that Roach is a solid fighter, but his lack of titles, defenses, and variety makes him an unknown persona that does not deserve pay-per-view status. Paulie took a jab at Gervonta, too, saying that he's getting fights, knowing that he'll keep winning them, but fans want more variety and excitement, especially if it's a paid event. Otherwise, it's a waste of money.
Pay-per-view. And this is not a detraction from Roach, who I think is a solid fighter, but again, in order to be a pay-per-view opponent, you need a little bit of notoriety to be able to sell that in that way. Davis has his own level of popularity. It's growing. This seems more like a cement your brain kind of thing, like keep him winning. So he continues to look like a winner in the eyes of the public. But I think people at this point want to see more, especially if it's going to be on pay-per-view.
Chris Algieri agreed to the statement, stating that featuring this fight on TV would make a lot more sense than trying to make it a paid event.
I mean, you're getting eyes on you. You're fighting one of the best fighters in the world today. One of the most popular fighters for sure is Gervonta Davis. It's also an all DC area clash, and I think that's going to bring a lot of eyes from that area. But in terms of
which is weird, right? Because it's in Houston. It's an all DC fight, but it's in Houston.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree with you, Champ, that making this a pay-per-view doesn't sound very smart. I think if you put
Bozy Ennis is excited for Tank versus Roach, as it would make for a good fight. Fans have been eager to see Tank in the ring again, so it makes sense. Ennis thinks that Tank has the skills and abilities to win this fight.
Lamont and Tank. I think that's be a good fight, man. I think it'd be a good fight, man. Him and Tank. I think it'd be a real good fight, man. You know what I mean? I think I would have to go with Tank, though. I would have to go with Tank.
He commented further, Tank will set you up. Like I said, he knows how to set you up. And also, like I tell people, Tank can box when he wants to box. What do you think of Gervonta Davis retiring? Who do you think will win this fight? And who do you think Tank should fight next? Give us your opinion in the comment section below and subscribe for more.